I actually like the AP one better, and it does look like now we will have MrTD and MrAwesomeT joining us shortly. So here they both are. Hello guys, congratulations firstly on your win and your second title in a row in the Newell. How are you guys feeling right now?
Feeling great. Well,
yeah,
particularly.
Feeling pretty good.
Let me just turn you both up so people can hear you.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea. So we'll just sort out your guys' sound, and in the meantime, just tell us a bit how you felt about them games. Firstly, your semi-final before we get into the final. How do you think the semi-final went?
Against semi-final.
Cardiff?
The first game we played really well. We won pretty much every lane, and allowed us to just kind of snowball and just win team fights and take objectives. The second game was quite a lot more rough. We had a lot of problems in bot lane. They ran like Sivir, Annie, and we had like Zyra, Jinx. But like once they got 6, they were just like double autos, and we kept getting killed. But
Hecarim was a good factor in that.
Yeah,
respect.
but our jungler Dress got like really fed and kind of carried with Nocturne. So
yeah, right, fair enough. And then going on to your final, then that first game, how do you feel that went? Obviously, you bust out the Ezreal in both games. With the first game, you were paired with the Zyra again. Obviously your support favours that Zyra. We've seen it from you a lot this tournament and the last one. Is that a lane that you've run a lot, the Ezreal?
Yeah, Ezreal's one of my main champs, and
Zyra,
we kind of
Zyra's
like
a strong support.
yeah, he plays a lot of Zyra, and we were just thinking getting kind of a lot of magic damage in the lane to try and counter the Taric, because we were quite afraid of Taric Sivir because it has a ridiculous win rate in solo queue right now, like 70% plus.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite lanes to play as a support main, and it was my first ever main, so it's very, very powerful lane. In the first game, the Nocturne was going, I think it was 7-2 or 7-1. Obviously, Dress there being very, very dominant in that jungle on the Nocturne. What lanes do you feel went well in that first game of the final, and what lanes do you think you made a few mistakes on, or what did you find more difficult?
The second game or the first game?
The first game.
First game went really well in mid lane. It was pretty much I was in mid lane. I had lane control mainly because I was Syndra against a Nidalee, but once again couldn't do much there because it was a Nidalee with the heals and Syndra with balls.
Yeah, there was a few times where you went under the tower to go for the kill, took a few tower shots, almost took a spear for the kill, but then it ended up both walking away. I think it was pretty much the same in that second game. I think it was 15 minutes or so before any of the mid laners actually got the kill to start off with.
Yes, that was because my jungler was telling me, actually shouting, "Don't do it, do not do it," and hence the hesitation. And so
yeah, I was going to say, you guys and Birmingham both seem to play so safe. Not just the level 1s, but the whole game. You wouldn't normally. I know you guys are very, very aggressive. You still had that aggression, but you didn't have the balls deep, I think is the correct term to use for you guys. But you didn't go all. You didn't go all in a lot of the time than you usually would. Is that because you knew how much the games meant or anything, or is that just something that naturally happened?
I think we were all slacking due to after playing 4 games consistently. It was we were all slipping slightly away from.
I think as well, just like the front line was so big in the second game, you can't really just go in on that. Like I had to Kai backwards because like Shyvana and Renekton were just huge, and they took a long time to kill.
Yeah, they definitely were. Near the end of the second game, were you starting to doubt yourselves? Because you were actually a bit behind when you won. You actually won from a 4k gold deficit. So were you sort of doubting yourselves a bit towards the end, or did you think you had it all along?
Our morale was pretty low, if I remember correctly, and we had some team boosters chanting inside our own team speak.
It was, I don't know, it was getting pretty rough. Like, me personally, I really need my Infinity Edge, and I wasn't quite there. And I was CSing quite badly. My CS was pretty poor at the end of the game.
I think, for me, MrAwesomeT, you were my MVP. Just letting you know, bro. But other than that,
no one mentions the Gragas.
I saw the Gragas. I saw the Gragas getting caught a few times. I've got to say, but you did pick up some really great kills. The double kill and the triple kill, almost the quadra kill in mid until MrAwesomeT stole it with his ult. We saw that one as well.
If you see in all the other games, he steals quite a lot of my kills.
Yeah, man.
But the main person I want to speak about in that second game, who normally either carries your games, well, as you said, your other games carries quite well. He did amazing on that knockdown in the first game, but this second game he just couldn't get going. That was just the student. What happened in that game? I think in the end he was 1-7. He had a lot of assists, but he didn't manage to get a kill in any lane in the first 20 minutes. I think it was.
Early game, he said he was having problems because he was getting. I don't know. I remember that he was saying that he was behind in the jungle, so he had to farm up. But our lanes were having trouble, top lane and top lane, and hence he couldn't farm himself up. And throughout the whole game, he had problems with spikes and lag, so he couldn't be able to function properly. But he would try to. That's why he went utility base his build.
He just couldn't get his ganks off. Normally he gonna get strong ganks, and he missed his first few. And the Shyvana played really well and was just like, I think he took like his second red, and the Shyvana was counter juggling and just completely out farming and kind of out leveled him.
Yeah, that was
and
really
that was
nice
kind of a big factor.
Definitely. The other thing I want to talk about, mainly to you, MrAwesomeT, how did you find that bot lane against the Zilean support? It's something Birmingham run a lot. How was it like playing against them? Do you find it difficult? Or obviously they picked up the first blood on, was it yourself or Zara in the first few minutes? How do you find playing against that lane?
Well, it was okay. Like, they had more poke than I thought, because it was like Caitlyn Zilean, there was a lot of poke there. But I've had some experience against Zilean support, and he's really squishy. And the first blood was just I just went too hard, I went too deep, and Rob wasn't 2 yet, so I thought he had to get 2 and he wasn't, so it kind of cost us. But then like all through the lane, like he kept coming in, and then we just kept turning around and bursting him, because he was just like really squished, and he missed a few ults, which I don't think he should have missed, which was kind of, I don't know, helped us get through and get ahead.
Yeah, well, even if it wasn't the best game for you guys, you still turned it around at the end. It was literally down then. Everyone had full builds, pretty much. You were a little bit behind on gold, but it was that one team fight you needed. You managed to pull that out and completely win the game and the tournament. So congratulations again, guys. Is there anyone going through this tournament the last few weeks that you think, you know, are a contender next year? Like, sorry, not next year, the next tournament. Is there any teams in the Super 8, now that you've played a few more, that you're quite scared of, or that you're surprised at their performance? I mean, KVGS topped you guys in their divisions. How do you feel about the KVGS squad coming in new?
We thought that, well, I thought that Birmingham would lose against KVGS, because we know how strong they are, ever since we played them in the group stages. And it would surprise us when it was 2-0 to Birmingham against KVGS. So we prepared ourselves to play against KVGS. So we're looking forward for a rematch in the near future against them.
Right, fair enough. And what about the other teams? Obviously, Swagvish and that dropping out, but what about Nottingham and Cardiff? How do you feel about them two teams?
I think they're quite solid. I don't think they're like up there. Like they are good teams, but I think they need a little bit more.
Shots fired, guys.
Trying to be nice about it. I don't know. Kent are definitely very strong. I hear MMU's good, but they never turn up. So...
Yeah, they dropped out as well, obviously, and with the promotionals that are going on at the moment, we'll have some new teams next year. But this year, again, you guys being the most dominant team and topping it again. So, again, congratulations on that. Munch, you got any more questions?
I'm trying to think. Israel, you played, MrAwesomeT, you played really, really well during that game. You had a few situations where you were able to sort of outplay your opponents. Like, for example, early on in the bot lane, Zilean did use his ultimate on the Caitlyn, and you just quickly switched targets, and you were able to win that trade anyway. And a couple of other times you were able to really outplay your opponents. Is Ezreal your main champion, or do you play other champions more?
I play like most of the ADs. Like before New World started, I was kind of just an all-rounder. So I've been focusing on ADCs because that's not my position. But Ez is like my favorite AD carry. just because he always has that ability to outplay like combination of arcane shift and just his Qs and stuff. Like he has a really high skill cap.
Yeah, one that really pops into mind was around Dragon, when you were getting chased by Caitlyn and Ahri. You went in the brush, you arcane shifted the charm, got the Ahri. Unfortunately, then you chased, and I think the charm caught you after the Zillion. But that was a really nice play there, a nice arcane shift to dodge that charm, pick up that kill. There was a few of them, I think.
Yeah, that was like, oh no. I think I could have outplayed Zillion and Ahri as well on goal 3, but I ran into the charm. So.
Right, and in terms of the team comp that you got in that last game, is that like a team comp that you were all comfortable running? Would that have been your ideal one if you were asked earlier, you know, at the start of the competition or something, what would be your ideal team comp for the final game if you were gonna try and win the whole tournament? Would you have said something like that team, or were you forced into anything you wouldn't usually play?
I think the Zac change to a Renekton would have been a stronger pick for us. He's more comfortable with Renekton.
Yeah, we probably would have done Shiv if the opportunity come up. Because Shyvana's like really strong right now, but generally they're all champions that everyone's really comfortable with playing. So, and it's kind of like we kind of run, and that was kind of a team fight oriented comp, but we do those quite often. They're usually pretty successful because our team fight is usually like are probably our strongest aspect.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. Munch, any more questions?
No, I think that's it. Thank you very much for coming on and talking to us after that game. Really, congratulations on your victory. I hope you go out and get sloshed now or whatever.
Can I say something?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, of course.
I want to thank UOM Esports Society for supporting us throughout the whole tournament, and shout outs to people who've encouraged us along the way. And thank you for the casters for casting such a brilliant game.
No worries.
And we look forward for the next tournament.
And shout out to Calvin, who I replaced.
More shots fired from MrAwesomeT there, guys. So on that note, that is Manchester taking this tournament in a really, really close game against Birmingham. Congratulations again to you guys. Enjoy your winnings, and we will see you, no doubt, in the next tournament to hold your 2-trophy victory now. Other than that, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I've been Shadow, and alongside me has been Munch. It's been a pleasure casting with you, my friend.
Yeah, you too.
And thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned on the website and on our Twitter and Facebook. It's at The Newell and Facebook/The Newell as well. Just keep updated. We'll be posting when the next tournament and that's starting on there. Thank you all for supporting us, and we will see you all next time.
Thank you.